Hey, going by the way.
Good. How's yours?
Pretty good. I'm a little
Awesome.
nervous. I got to get this done in under 30 minutes.
You're a smart one.
I think I've always been a smart one.
I don't know about that.
Maybe not in the sense of like a good smart, the good smart word, but like a smart aleck.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is open dental.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what exactly are the people you hired going to be doing? Recalls or new
Recall.
patients? Recall?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, let me see. Hold on. Okay, so for recall, there's different rules, so it's gonna be fun
Okay.
to learn. So, okay. So, for the doctors, it all depends on the time that the doctors come in. So this is, I'll go to next week. But I'm gonna have to show you Mondays, Saturdays, and then during the week, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so for recall, with the are okay, I just have questions in regards to that, like how are they gonna have the doctor schedule and stuff like that?
We actually Open Dental has an online version. So we'll be
Okay,
able to pipe directly into it will look just like this.
okay, okay. So doctors on Monday, we only have two doctors. The way that we booked for the doctors on Monday is that if there's a treatment, we can't book a recall on the side. I don't know if you understand me.
Yeah, I do understand. You're saying if there's a treatment, then so if there's a treatment that he's
Hmm.
doing, like a crown, right?
Hmm.
You can't book a recall at the same time he's doing a treatment.
Correct.
Yep, got it.
Okay, so if you see here, the 9 a.m. is a recall, and then the 10 a.m. is a fill, so we wouldn't book anything on the side. And then, see, for this
Okay,
one,
so
we
let
use,
me ask you
uh-huh.
real quickly.
Hmm.
The cruise right here, the line cruise. This is the doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, now take me through where your hygiene is in association. Okay, so you have hygiene 1 through 4 right here,
Hmm.
right? But on Mondays you only have 2 hygiene chairs open.
Yeah, and then Tuesdays, we only have three. Wednesdays, three. Thursdays, we have four. And then Saturdays, we have four.
Uh,
So if you see here, all the four hygienes are open.
okay,
And then as well as for Saturday. But then if we go to Tuesday, it's only three of them.
okay, gotcha. So and these light lines tell us when they come in. Like this person here has an opening at 9 a.m.
Yeah, hygiene three, that hygienist comes in at 9. And then the other at 10, and then the other at 11.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Okay, so when it comes to recall, the way that we do it is that when we book, say we book at 9 a.m., an hour and 15 minutes later, we book their hygiene. So since we're booking the 9 a.m. for a recall at 10:15 on any of the hygiene threes, at 10:15 we will book their appointment.
Okay, so you want him to sit with the doctor first.
Yeah, the doctor first and then hygiene.
Okay, got it. So the doctor appointment is 1 hour?
Yep, 1 hour for the for recall, and then it depending on what type of cleaning they're gonna get, that'll be on the hygiene column.
Okay, got it. So, with t- the type of hygiene they're getting is basically a basic prophy or a deep cleaning, right?
Yeah, there's it's either a prophy or a para maintenance.
Right,
Mhm.
because they have gingivitis or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so and their records will determine what that is.
Yep.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. So, where are the doctor's chairs in relationship to the hygiene? So I got hygiene 1 through 4 right here.
Mhm.
Are these the doctors right here on the right?
Yeah, so Oseas and Cruz
Okay.
and Friedman come in on Tuesdays. So those would be the doctors for the recalls, and then we have the three openings for hygiene.
Okay. So basically, there's a hygiene chair per doctor.
Kinda, yes, but there's a difference in the hours. So if we don't have the opening for the hygiene, we'll tell the patient we could book them like a little bit later, and they'll just have a wait time to get the hygiene done because it's not booked all the time correctly.
Okay.
So when that happens, there's times where we don't have a hygiene appointment, and we have to make the patient aware because other people are booking other hygienes. I don't
Okay.
know if you get me. Like
Yeah.
for us, the hygiene 4 column, that's when you're supposed to be adding patients that are coming back that have already been diagnosed. So, say the patient came in today, they were diagnosed with SRPs. The SRPs have to be booked either on a Thursday or a Saturday under the hygiene 4. But that's not always the case. People book on Monday, people book Tuesday, Wednesday. So when we have that, there's times that we don't have the opening for hygiene when we book the recall.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Kind of. I mean, can you please provide me with an example?
Sure.
Great.
Okay, so say you're calling me, right?
Yeah.
You calling me and you're asking me, oh, I want to book my 1 month eval, and that's because you're coming back because you had your deep cleaning, right?
Uh-huh.
So usually those patients come a month after. So say I'm gonna tell you, okay, I could book you either on a Thursday or a Saturday, which that's why we have hygiene for.
Gotcha.
So I would book you at 12:30. That's when I have my opening. I could book you at 1, 2, 3, whatever time I have on hygiene 4.
Okay.
But say you call Jasenia. Jasenia tells you, "Okay, I'll book you." And but then you tell me, "No, I want to come in on a Wednesday."
Okay. Well, there's no hygiene
So,
for there, so you have to do something different.
exactly. But Jasenia, I'll book you on Wednesday anyways.
Right.
So the thing is that there's gonna be times in which now you're calling me again for your recall, but yet since Jasenia booked you on that Wednesday, I don't have your opening for your hygiene. So I'm gonna tell you you could either wait or I could book your hygiene. You could always book your hygiene appointment when you come in for your recall. So those are some of the issues that we're having that I'm just making you aware so you can make whoever you hired aware that there's not always going to be hygiene openings after the recall appointment.
Gotcha. So the recall, because recall appointment for you is a little different than it is in other offices, it sounds like, because recall for the offices that we've been doing this for is
Mhm.
typically cleaning, exam, and X-ray, and the doctor comes in to check to make sure everything's okay, or if they need to sit down with the doctor. Can you
Mhm.
define what a recall is for me at Bellflower?
Yes, a recall will be an exam and the x-ray is an exam. So you would come in, they would take your x-rays, the doctor
Hold on
would
one sec. Let me ask you a quick question right there, just so I
Mhm.
don't forget. Even if the patient comes regularly every 6 months for their cleaning, you still want them to see the doctor for exam and X-ray.
Yes,
Okay, so you do an exam and X-ray no matter what every time they come in.
every 6 months, yeah.
Oh, every 6 months. Okay. So if
Mhm.
they're on a 3 month hygiene schedule, you wouldn't do that until their second visit.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. So now that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then when you bring somebody in and you bring a patient in, the first
Mhm.
thing you're going to do is you're going to book them with a dentist, whoever's
Yes.
available on that time.
Yes,
Then the next
correct.
thing you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, the dentist is from 10 to 11. I'm going to book my hygiene appointment at 11 o'clock.
11:15. It's an hour and 15 minutes after.
Okay, so you don't book, it's not an hour time slot with the doctor, it's an hour 15.
No, well, it's on you on. Did you see my screen, right? You
Yeah,
see that Aiden is at 1.
yeah.
His hygiene, if we go to hygiene right here, his hygiene is at 2:15.
Okay, got it. And his hygiene appointments are 30 minutes?
Well, I could give you the times. A prophy, a regular cleaning is 30, para maintenance is 45, and then I could give you the other ones.
Okay, what are the other ones?
Okay, so the para maintenance is 45 minutes. A 1 month eval is 30 minutes. And SRPs is depending on how many quads they're getting. 1 to 2 quads is 1 hour.
Okay.
3 to 4 quads is an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay, so 1 to 2 quads is an hour, and 3 to 4 is an hour 30.
Yeah.
Okay, and SRP is when they go underneath the gum.
Yes. And for
Wh-
this
what's
one,
what's perio maintenance then?
Para maintenance is usually after a patient they had
SRP.
SRPs,
Yeah.
they always come back for a para maintenance.
But I'm saying,
It's a little bit more detailed than the prophy.
okay, so it's a prophy, but they're not going underneath the gum. They're not going that far.
Yeah, they do go a little bit underneath. It's not as deep though as the way that they have to numb them and stuff like
Right.
that. But it's way more detailed than a prophy.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So there's three levels. There's your basic prophy, there's your perio maintenance, and then there's your SRPs.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I mean, that's why I wanted to talk to you, but I don't know if that they were going to be calling authos as well.
Yeah, that's what Carmen said today.
Okay. So the reason I'm telling you about SRPs is because if they're calling authos, that's when they're going to have to book SRPs. That's why I wanted to give you the number for SRPs. But usually, if they're only calling recall, they're only usually going to book a prophy or a para maintenance. They wouldn't book SRPs because
Gotcha.
they have to be diagnosed first before they can actually book for SRPs.
Gotcha. Yep. Got it.
Can you give me a second?
Sure.
Thank you. Transfer? Jessica, transfer because it's Mercy. Hold on.
No problem.
Hey, Miranda, Mercy called? Thank you. Yeah. It depends if the patient's calling like the same day to reschedule, we make a new one, but we copy the old notes from the appointment that he originally had, and we put our notes all the way in the bottom. Mhm. Mhm. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, so go ahead. What else?
Basically, I wanted to ask some other questions.
Mhm.
First of all, I saw some patients that were overlapped in your hygiene columns. Can you tell me
Mhm.
why that happens? Or
Where?
is this an over, like at the top here at 8 a.m.?
Mhm. Mhm.
Is that an overlap, or is it just cut it off? Is it just cutting off the words
No.
because there's so much information in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you click, like you put the mouse on top, you can read
Oh, I
everything.
got it. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's just different for me than what I'm used to seeing, which is Dentrix.
Mm.
Also, how do you switch back from screens? You were switching back from screens to from hygiene to doctors. Is it just left to right like most applications are?
Yeah, you see right here on the right side where the little calendar's at,
Yeah.
and then it says today.
Yeah.
You see right here where it says view.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are all the doctors like the schedules.
Yep.
So it's F1, it's general one.
So,
So I could move it from the keyboard F1, F2, F3, F4.
oh, I got you. Okay, so
But if
you're just pushing the
yeah,
function keys at the top, and your
yeah,
function key for hygiene is what?
3.
Okay, general's 3. Okay, so general 1 and 2. What's number 2 then?
2 would be give me a second. Number 2 we have more diac doctors and Dr. Sybil schedule.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I got it. So 1 and
So
3 is
yeah,
basically where we're going to be working out of.
You could also, it'll be F2 as well, because we have some doctors that are diagnosing doctors that are in that one. If you go on Tuesdays, we have Dr. Friedman, but he's not in the first in general one. So you would have to go F1, F2, and then F3.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so you want to just check everything. Now, do patients have doctors that they prefer?
Yes.
Okay, so based on the patient that I'm booking, I need to book it in the doctor's column that they're under, right? Give
Yes.
me an example of where I see that info. Can you do a mock booking for me?
What is that?
It means just book like yourself in the calendar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so say I called and I want Dr. Cruz. You're always gonna look, the doctors' names are up here. So you see Dr. Osayas, Dr. Cruz, Sagar. We have Dr. Friedman and Dr. Fan.
Okay.
So we have a schedule that I
And those
could
are all
send to
general
you.
doctors.
Yes, these are all general doctors, but keep in mind that now what they're doing is that diagnosing doctors are doing treatment. So we always have to keep an eye out of if the doctor's doing treatment, we can book that recon the site.
Okay, so explain that to me real quick. I know we talked about that at the very beginning, but what I want to
Okay.
understand is, don't you book with the doctor first anyway? So why would you book on the side?
Okay. So what I
Oh,
was
I
trying to tell
see.
you,
I
you
see.
see,
There's two columns. Cruz has two columns. So
yeah, every diagnosing doctor has 2 columns.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they had given us the okay to double book. So the way we're doing it now is you could book 2 doctors for Osayas at the same time. But if you see right here at 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
for this patient, it says that it's a delivery for a bridge. So you can't book a recon next to her because she's
Delivery for
gonna be
bridge is
busy doing treatment.
DELBB.
Yeah, DELBB, that's a Del for a bridge.
Okay, so I'm gonna need the shortcuts. Can you shoot me an email with what the shorthand is that you guys use?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
Del
RC
BB.
is recall,
Mhm.
right? So I
Yeah.
could double book on that.
Yeah, RC, you're good.
Yeah.
So let me see. You see how this one, the yellow thing, it says Miranda's schedule for adjustments on 8 and 9. So that's treatment, because the doctor is going to be doing treatment, not an exam.
Right.
So for this one, we wouldn't book a recon the side, we would book it after.
Gotcha.
Okay? So that's what I meant that you
Sh-
can't do on the side.
Wait, show me that one more time and tell me.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see her notes?
Yeah.
So she wrote them on the 6 at 2:50. It says Miranda, that's the front desk. She put schedule for ADJ, that means adjustment.
Oh, on
On
8
number
and
8 and
9.
number 9.
Incisal
Yeah.
fracture. Okay,
Yeah.
ADJ. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna need kind of a code to the shorthand.
Okay, yeah, because I mean here we know them already because
You're
we're
using them
used to
all
it,
the
but
time, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if you could just give me the code, that way we don't mess anything up. Also, when we start booking patients, I'm gonna have them
Mhm.
contact you directly to make sure they're doing it right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the red line there?
That's just the time. So right now it's 3:22, so that should be like, oh, it's
Oh,
3:22.
I gotcha. Okay, so
Yeah.
what about lunch? Is there a lunchtime that we can't book in, or is it grayed out?
Usually you'll see that on Saturdays. You see for Dr. Rita, say it's in Cruz.
Yeah.
Dr. Rita is blocked from 12 to 12:30. When they see dark gray like that, they can't schedule.
I gotcha.
And let me show you something else. You see up here where it says general blockout
Say again?
at 9? You see general blockout at 9?
Yeah.
They can't book there either because there is a reason why it's blocked out. Maybe the doctor's not coming in that early. The doctor's leaving early, whatever the case
Yeah.
is. We block it out so they can't block out. As long as it's white like the bottom ones, that's when you could do it.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Cool. Will you take me through a mock booking?
Yeah. Give me a second. Okay, so let's book you.
Okay.
So say you want the Friday the 28th. I'm going to offer you like I have 10 a.m. I have 9 a.m. I have 1. Usually, if you could let them know if they could do like the middle of the day, which is 1 to 1, 12, 1 and 2. It's usually when it's always going to be empty because everybody either wants to come in the
Or at
morning or in
night.
the
Yeah.
afternoon. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would just tell you I have a 1 or a 2 o'clock, and you'll tell me, okay, I want 1. I would book you here,
Yep.
right? So,
So,
first of all, I don't know, are they going to have access to open dental?
yes.
Okay, so we're going to select a patient. Usually, I'll ask you for your date of birth. You would give me your date of birth. And then if the patient comes up, there's more than one patient that's going to have that date of birth. So I'm just going to ask you to confirm your date of birth. So I'm going to say, oh, your name, Abarca Jocelyn, right?
Yep.
I press OK. It'll give you pop-ups, and they have to read the pop-ups because there's some patients that are in collections. They owe Delta checks, and those have to be paid before we can even book an appointment.
Okay.
Okay, the pop-ups are up here, so they're always to click those pop-ups to make sure that everything's good to go.
Okay.
Okay, so after that, you would go to family. In the family, you could see all their information when it comes to insurance, any other family members that they have. So from here, I would confirm with Jocelyn, okay, Jocelyn, can you confirm your home address? And then they'll say, okay, my address is 10318 East Rosecrans Avenue,
Uh
right?
huh.
Can you confirm your phone number? They give me the phone number. You could always confirm the email address. And most importantly, you have to confirm the insurance. Give me a
Sure.
second.
For new patients, can you for Saturday? Can you put them both at the same hour?
For where?
For
I have a new patient. Daughter's gonna be seeing Peter. There's at 12 o'clock. And
Uh-huh.
then dad and mom. So can I do 12 and then?
Dad and mom have to be seen after the pedo patient. Or maybe one could be seen before and the other after.
Oh, okay.
So what time is daughter booked?
12. So 1 at 11, 12 at 1.
Daughter's at 1?
Daughter's at 12.
Book one at 11 and then the other at 1.
Okay.
Okay,
No
sorry.
problem.
So I do have an opening for all three.
Okay, so then it's important for them to confirm the insurance information. Not so long ago, we had an issue in which the patient had the information here in the system, but they had never been seen with the insurance. So what I told the girls is to ask them, like, okay, have you been seen with your Cigna insurance before? If they say yes, then that's mean that they've used it,
Yeah.
correct? So instead of just saying, oh, do you still have Cigna? They're going to say yes. But it depends if they've been seen with the actual insurance.
Okay.
That patient had only been seen as a private, so they were paying out of pocket, but then they had insurance, but the insurance was added because their daughters were here. So they were just the subscribers.
Okay.
The mom was just a subscriber. I don't know if that makes sense.
Kind of.
Okay, it's just too long to explain. But just have them verify that they've been seen with that insurance and that it's still the same. I always have the girls ask like, "Oh, are you still employed with Civil Dental Group?" And they'll say yes. So then I know like, okay, they still have Cigna.
Okay.
After I confirm the information, I'm gonna ask you what day do you prefer. They usually say like, "Oh, I need a Saturday. I'm off on Friday," so I go to my Friday and I'm going to check the schedule and I'm going to tell you, okay, I have a 1 or a 2 o'clock. If you tell me 1, I'm going to go say, okay, perfect, I book you in. And since they'll only be calling recall, it'll just be recall. You could always ask, once you click on it, you double click, it'll come up with the name and it'll be highlighted in dark gray like
Okay.
this. All you do is you press OK,
Uh-huh.
and it'll go to this. After this comes up, you press create new appointment. Okay, so once it's here, this is where they would do the time length in their notes. So they would move the time length to 60 minutes.
Okay.
And then they write their notes. Patient called in to schedule, blah, blah, blah. You press OK, the appointment pops up in the
Okay.
schedule. Okay, now that I booked her at 1 o'clock, I'm going to go to
2:15.
hygiene. 2:15, I go to hygiene and then I book the appointment. I don't even have to we usually don't tell the patient. They just assume like, okay, I'll have my hygiene. The way that we do it with the hygiene is that you're going to go to treatment, to chart. I'm sorry. And in the chart, it'll give you the patient's history.
Mhm.
So if you go here, it tells you like, okay, they came in for a X-ray, they came in for a panel. You keep going up until you find the cleaning that they've had before. So over here, give me a second.
It's okay.
So over here, you see that they've had a prophy done. So you would book according to their history, which was a
Okay.
prophy. So you go back to the appointment and you book it for the 30 minutes that the prophy is
Okay.
for. So you write your notes and that's it. You just tell the patient like, okay, well I booked you for Friday the 28th at 1 o'clock,
Okay.
and that's it.
Cool. And are we doing the cancellation policy with these guys?
We don't tell them because Dan doesn't want us to charge the patient, so we don't tell them. We just ask for a 24-hour notice,
Okay.
and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Another question that I have is what? Go back to hygiene real quick.
Let me cancel this. Hold
Yeah.
on, okay?
No problem.
Sorry. This is Jocelyn. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna take it? Yeah, it's because I have it. Yeah, just come get it. Bye.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about that. Okay, so hygiene.
Yeah. There's 15 minutes before that there's nobody in there, right? Do you guys
hmm
utilize that for anything?
We try to, the but there's just times that's gonna be the gap's gonna be there.
Okay. So there's nothing you can do really about that. If there's 30 minutes, we can squeeze in a hygiene, a regular prophy,
hmm
but if there's a 15-minute gap, then there's nothing you can really do with that.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
hmm
Now, is there a specific hygienist that we're supposed to be like hygiene 1, hygiene 2, hygiene 3? Are those three different hygienists?
Yeah, because we go according to their schedule. So but the schedule I would have to send to you.
Okay, so but does Jocelyn see one hygienist, or does it matter which column we put it in?
Well, give me a second. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Bellflower Deniker, Jocelyn, please hold. 301. Sorry, I'm
It's
short.
okay.
Okay. Well, that's only if I ask for a certain hygienist. So if I tell you, usually they'll tell you like, okay, I want to go, but I only want to see Dr. Waldman. So I would check the schedule and I would let her know, okay, Dr. Waldman is only here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So the patient would have, if she really wants to see Waldman, she would have to choose one of those days. And there are going to be patients that'll tell you. Some patients don't, but there's always notes in the system. Like they'll put patient only requested Dr. Waldman, patient only requested Dr. Fan. So we have to make sure that we'll ask the patient, well, are you okay with seeing another hygienist or do you want to see that certain hygienist? And they'll let you know, like, no, I only want to see her. Then that's when we look at the schedule. If they want a Friday, but Dr. Waldman is not here, then you'll tell them I have Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday. And they could either choose those days or they'll be okay with seeing a different doctor.
Okay. But the doctor part I get because they're only in on certain days. But do you try to fit them with the same hygienist?
That's what I explained to
Oh,
you.
you
Sorry.
meant hygienist.
Yeah, it's because some of them are
Oh,
doctors.
some of them are
I know
doctors.
Waldman.
Okay, I got you.
Waldman is a doctor.
But she does hygiene at the office.
Yeah, she only does hygiene.
I
Yeah,
got you. Okay, I got it. And which hygiene chair are they assigned to?
they're not. You just make say Jocelyn's hygiene is at
Yeah.
2:15, right? And you see how there's nothing
Yeah.
here? I'm just gonna book her in hygiene 1 and make my notes. Patient only wants to see Waldman. Now, the next person that books the next patient, they have to make sure that they're reading the notes, that nobody else is requesting Waldman at that time. If not, we have to move on. If you see here at
I
4:30,
see.
they're requesting Yvonne. You
Yeah.
see that,
Mhm.
Gabby? 3-month period with Yvonne. So if I have Jocelyn wants to come in at 4:30 for hygiene, I'm gonna make sure that if I have an opening, that nobody else wants Yvonne. If not, I'll have to book her before that
Got it.
4:30.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's a lot of like looking into that they're gonna have to do, not just like put them in there and that's it. They have to make sure the doctors are here. Nobody else is requesting those doctors that they want to see.
Got it. Okay, I get it. Makes sense.
Okay.
Okie dokie. All right, I think that pretty much clears things up for me. I'm gonna have Jesse call you too and get like the doctors' dates and times when they're in, all that information, all the hygienist names. Is that okay?
Mhm. Yeah. One thing is that we get this weekly, the doctor's
Okay.
schedule. We get it weekly. We don't get it. We don't have it like a month ahead or anything like that.
Okay.
So I would have to be emailing this weekly to you when Stan gives
Well,
it to
what we'll
me.
do is instead of emailing it, we have a document that we have online. It's a Google document.
Mhm.
We'll share that document
Mhm.
with you, and you can just change it around. Does that
Okay.
work?
Yeah, it's a lot because it's all the doctors, all the hygienists.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah. Okay.
It's all labeled. I mean, we label it out and all that stuff. So all you'll have to do is just change what dates and times they're in.
Okay. And I just have questions. Do you have time
Sure,
or
shoot.
no? Okay. So, Carmen told me that they're going to be working with you, right? They're not going to be in the
That's
office?
correct.
Okay. In regards to like the days that they'll be working, exactly on what are they going to be working on? Would you be able to tell me that?
One will be working Monday through Friday. The other one will be working Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay, so one would be Monday through Friday, and then Tuesday
Yep,
through Saturday?
that's
Okay.
correct.
Are they bilingual,
One is
correct?
bilingual. One is English speaking. So
Okay.
if they get a bilingual, somebody that's Spanish speaking, they will just pass them to the other person.
Okay. Do you know which one's the bilingual one?
I've interviewed 3 people. I haven't hired anybody yet. I'm hiring somebody today or tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. And all three of them.
There's only
Okay,
2.
that's fine. Two. Yeah, but I mean, can you just hire the ones that are bilingual?
Well,
Because it's,
one
I mean, we have a lot of Spanish
totally,
speakers.
and I totally get that. But one of the people
Mhm.
has I'm switching over because they already know the
Mhm.
system. They already know how to do it, and that way I can get to my
Oh,
things right away. And with new people, I won't be able to do that. So I want to
got
get
it.
numbers up first. Then if I have to switch things around, I will do that.
Okay. In regards to you getting like the recall and the autos, how are we gonna go about that?
What do you mean by that?
Well, how are you gonna get like our
Oh,
recall, the patients that you recalls and
that
stuff
thing that
like
you
that?
synced with the thing that Daniel synced gives us all of
Mhm.
that information. So it's already automatically synced with our servers now.
Okay.
So
So they'll get it
yep,
from there.
it becomes a list
Okay.
inside of
One.
Infusionsoft just like it was in your system.
Okay. One other. What else? What else? What else? Dang it. I had a
Can you
bunch of
show me?
questions, but I didn't
Can
write
you
them
show me
down.
the recall auto where you see that from in your system?
We get charts,
Okay.
and then we add them to the auto dialer, and that's how we go about it.
Okay, so you pull the charts and then you add them to the auto dialer. But where does
Mhm.
it say? Where does it say
I
it in your system? Because
right
recall is
here.
easy. Recall is automatically there's a recall inside of Open Dental. There's a recall schedule for each patient. So
Mhm.
I know how
Mhm.
to pull those no problem. But a little I'm a little. I need to see how you pull authos out of your system when you pull that list. What do you do?
Well, the way it works for us is that TCs are calling those patients. There's one TC that was trained to input it to the auto dialer. So those are already in the auto dialer, and that's how we get them.
Okay. So
Other than that, I'm sorry, they're being pulled from the letters that we receive from the insurance, and they're given to TC. When insurance processes the auto, they write it here where it's a communication log.
okay, I got it. So if I just gave her another place to put those authos in that would automatically pop into our system, that would be fine. Then, right?
Yeah, but I don't know how. I think that's like a Daniel question,
Okay.
to be
Okay.
honest with
Will
you.
you have him call me
'Cause,
about that? That'd be
yeah,
great.
yeah. And then one thing, Josh, to make them aware is that it's very important for them to write their notes. If they're calling recall, they need to make their notes on the communication log because when a patient calls us, that's where we go look. So they say that they call. Are they the call's gonna go directly to them or are they coming
No,
into
they're
the
calling
office?
into you.
Okay, so when we get the calls, they're gonna say like, "Hey, I had a missed call, blah blah blah." So we do the same thing. I'll look them up in the system, and then we'll look here where it says communications log. I'll check here, right? And it'll say like called from recall. You see
Yeah.
that? Call from recall left voicemail. So say that was the last note. I'm like, okay, well I see they were calling you to set up your appointment for your 6-month dental checkup. But if there's no notes, it's like we're not gonna know. I mean, obviously we're gonna know that somebody's calling out, but it's better for us to know who it was so we could tell her like, okay, it was this person. They want to book you for
Okay.
this.
Yeah, I
Do
do.
you understand?
Can you
Okay.
get me again that all your notes have kind of a rhythm to it, right? Like
Mhm.
there's a date, there's a time, and then there's
Mhm.
you know the shorthand. So I
Mhm.
definitely need the shorthand code from you, and I need
Mhm.
kind of how you want that formatted out. Does that make
Okay.
sense? Date, time, note.
Yeah.
Kind of like whatever.
Yeah. Well, for them to write their notes, you see this little purple circle on the
Uh huh.
top? This is new
Yep.
common log. They would press, I'm just going to show you, I'll send you the email. But they have to press on that. When they hit Control D, it gives you a date stamp. And they would just have to write their own
Okay.
time and just like called from recall. Let's say they left a voicemail and then their
Okay,
name.
got it.
And then they press OK, and then it'll pop up right at the bottom. That would be the last
Okay, got
note,
it.
the last person
Got
who
it.
called.
Yep,
Okay?
got it.
And then one other thing in regards to balances, it's very important that they check the balance because there's been a lot of issues with different reps booking appointments with balances. So they have to make sure that there's no balance here and that right here where it says family urgent fin note,
Show me. Yeah,
you
show
see it
me
up here?
one with a balance on it. Does this one have a balance on it?
Mm.
239.
Well, the 239, it is a balance, but the patient was just seen. So if you see here for 4/12/2017, patient had an exam and they had
Yeah.
x-rays. So that's why they have that balance. But there are patients, let me see, I know there's a patient for tomorrow. If you click on this one, hold on.
Why is it green, by the way?
Oh, that's a nitrous appointment. Oh, I need to show you how to book
Okay.
that too.
Yep.
Give me a second. Okay, so here you see there's oh, it's because he deleted the thing already. Damn it. Hold on. Okay, you see this note? It says accelerator per outstanding
Mhm.
FA. FA means it's a financial arrangement. The patient has not been making their payments,
Okay.
so
How
they
did you
have
get
a
that? How'd you
balance.
get there? Oh, pop-ups.
Pop-ups,
Okay.
and it'll pop out automatically.
Okay. Oh, it'll pop out
Okay.
automatically when they check it.
Yeah, when they go into the patient's file.
So
So this is a balance of
so if I
750.
don't have a patient on the phone, how would I get the patient? How would I look up the patient to put the notes in?
Just to look them up,
Yeah.
period. Right here. And select patient up here.
Yep.
You
Yep.
select patient, and then you could write like the last name,
Okay. Cool.
and then whatever the first name is, you just press OK, and then it goes to family. You go to family and you see all their information.
Where's the notes at there?
Right here, you go to chart.
Okay.
Sorry, account.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about that. You go to account, and right here in the communication log, that's where we write our notes.
Okay.
That's where all the notes are going to pop out. So you write it here in the communication. Once you press OK, it'll pop
Got it.
out right here.
And
That's how
Command
you write
D
your notes.
Command D automatically throws the date in there, or
Yeah,
Control D.
Control D, sorry. Control D, it'll be the date, but it doesn't give you time, so they're supposed to write out, like type out the time on their own.
Okay. All
Like
right.
that.
Cool. I think that gives me enough information.
Okay, but one thing I didn't explain to you how
Nitrous.
pedo
Oh.
works. We have a very special doctor on Mondays that he likes his schedule a specific way.
Okay.
Okay, so we have different pedo doctors, and they're only here Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. On Tuesdays, we don't have
Okay.
any pedo. Okay, so for Mondays, doctor only wants 3 recalls, appointments, or new patients, and then treatment on the last 2 pedo op columns.
Okay.
You never book a new patient on the top of the hour, but since they're only doing recall, they shouldn't have to
Yeah,
worry
right.
about new patients. And then once you book the nitrous appointment or any sort of treatment, you could always book a light treatment on the side, but they don't have to worry about that. All they're doing is booking recall. But since they're calling ortho, they have to make sure, it's because they have to check if the patient needs nitrous. Because if they need nitrous, it's a specialty appointment that could only be done on a specific day and specific time. So if they have like any sort of nitrous, they could transfer the call here, and we could book it for them because we have to take a
Yeah,
payment
that's
down
fine.
for $50.
Yep.
Okay. So for Mondays, you could book 3 recalls or new patients at and these are Medi-Cal as
Okay.
well. That's when we see Medi-Cal from 10 to 12. That's when we see Medi-Cals, and then it'll be like Medi-Cal treatment. So that's the
only on
doctor
Monday,
in
right?
the afternoon. Yeah, this is only Monday. The same thing for the afternoon, but no Medi-Cal after 2 o'clock. So you could book regular 3 recalls, operatives, and 5 o'clock will be straight recalls.
Okay.
He doesn't want to do treatment
Okay.
at 5. On Wednesdays, it'll
So
be
wait,
Dr. Ma.
when we're booking pedo, right? And we're doing recalls on pedo. Do we still book a hygiene after that?
No. Pedo, they do the
Okay,
hygiene
so
there.
it's just there's no hygiene appointment needed. It's an hour, and it takes care of the
It's
hygiene
just an
and
hour.
everything. Got it.
Correct. Okay. So that's Monday, Wednesdays, it's Dr. Ma. Dr. Ma only likes to have 3 patients total. So it could be 3 straight recalls, or it could be 2 recalls and 1 regular
Okay,
operative.
so only 3 in those 5 columns.
Yes. But when it comes to nitrous, the lime green, they could only book 1 recall on the side.
Right. Okay, so instead of 3, it's only 2. When there's a lime green there, like that one.
Yeah. You see how this one's is
Yep.
by itself?
I can book 1 recall on that
Either
line. That's
1
it.
recall.
Got it.
Correct. Yep. And then here, since there's no pedo, there's no
1 more.
nitrous, you could
Yep.
still book
Got
another,
it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's Wednesdays and
Okay.
Fridays. That's for Dr.
And then
Ma.
Saturday? Oh,
Hold on.
Thursday.
Let me go
Sorry.
to
Yep.
Thursday. Thursday is Dr. Lisa. Dr. Lisa usually works the same as Dr. Ma, which would be two recalls, one operative. But Dr. Lisa is just starting to do pedo, so if you book a nitrous, you can't book a recall on the
Okay.
side. It'll be
Got it.
nitrous only. And she only does 4 teeth or less for
Okay.
Dr. Lisa for
Well, but we're
treatment.
not going to know that on the phone call, right? Uh,
You can,
but
yes, because you could always check the
are we going to
treatment
be
plan
booking treatment?
and see. Well, you're calling
Oh,
authos,
that's
right?
right. Yeah, that's
You're
right.
gonna get
Authos, yep.
authos.
Mhm.
You're gonna get treatment. So if you see here, this is the treatment plan. It says these four teeth D, E,
Mhm.
F, and G, they're fills. If you see here the surface, it gives them to you F, ML, FML,
Mhm.
and FL. Those are the
Gotcha.
surfaces, and then these are the teeth. And then if you see right here the inhalation of nitrous, that's nitrous. So that would mean that the patient needs nitrous, so they have to pay a $50 fee in order for us to even book the
Got it.
appointment. So if they, as soon as they see this, just tell them to transfer the call over because they have to pay $50 before we can even book
Got
the
it.
appointment.
Yep.
Okay, so that's how you could see the amount of teeth that
Okay.
is pending. And then that's how we know, okay, I could book this many patients for
Got
this
it.
doctor. Okay, so Friday is the same as Wednesday for Dr. Ma. Saturday is Dr. Ma as well. It's the same thing for Saturdays. The only thing that's different is that there's no nitrous on Saturdays.
Okay.
But it'll still be 3
3 across, no
across.
more than 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to let you
Why does that
know,
one have
when
4?
we call because this one was okayed by
Got
the
it.
pedo department.
So they got special
So
permission
you
for
would have
that.
to get an okay.
Got it.
Yeah, to overbook, that's how we call it. We have to get the okay from management or the
Okay, got
doctor.
it.
Okay, one other thing is that when calling recall, you're always gonna have. Usually, you'll have mom say, "Well, I want to take my other daughter. She's never been there before." So, in a way, they are gonna be booking new patients once in a while. Just let them know that you can't book the first patient or the last patient for a new patient. Does that make sense? So if the doctor
Right, so
starts
I
at
have to book
9
a new patient at
and
10
she and
or at 3. Got it.
correct. So it'll be either for her it's 10 or
Right.
2:30. I'm sorry, yeah, 2:30 would be the last new patient
Cuz
you
she's
could
out at
book.
4:30. Got it.
Correct. Okay. So have fun.
I get it.
Oh, Saturday I didn't
Yep.
explain to you. Saturdays we have the okay to double book. You see that there's
Yeah.
2 columns, right? On the first column you could double book 10, 12, and 2
This is for what?
for Saturday diagnosing doctors for
Oh, for
recalls.
recalls. Okay. But if they have treatment, you don't double
So
book, right?
yeah, they have treatment, you don't double book. But usually if it's recall like this 10 a.m., the
Yeah.
Avalos Adrian, I would just make it smaller right here for 30 minutes and I would put another patient for another 30 minutes.
Oh, at 10.
Yeah.
Okay, what are those times
So
again?
you could
10?
10,
Got it.
12, and 2. Saturdays only, that's when you could double book like that you make it for 30 minutes and then the other
Got it.
30 minutes.
Okay, cool. I'm sure we'll have
All right, so
questions.
that's all I can remember. Yeah,
We'll call you when we do.
I'm
All
sure
right.
you will.
Thanks, Jocelyn. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Alrighty,
Okay, bye.
you too. Bye.